Little Nitro.
Stacked.
If James lost, he'd have to eat a dub.
I'm not doing that. Did you see that clip of Deion Sanders?
You don't call Nick Saban Nick. Don't call me Deion.
Let me put some respect on his name. Welcome, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show getting off. It is May 31st, 2022. How are y'all feeling? We got a loaded show today. Wes is going to be in the mix around the 8 o'clock hour. He is back home in his palatial establishment in the suburbs of Dallas. In the studio today, Studio 44, producer James in the building. Tell me that shirt. What's that band's name again?
This one?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a band shirt.
It's not a band shirt?
No.
Oh, I thought it was a band shirt.
I got it from Zoomies.
Oh. Are they still around?
Yeah. What,
Really?
Zoomies?
Yeah.
They better be around for a while because I used to go to Echo all the time. I was one of those dudes that
I was an Echo kid. I was an Echo guy too.
Yeah,
when
so
they fit.
I had to, once they closed down in San Marcos, I had to find somewhere else to start shopping. And I would just go to like random places. Oh, I like
Hot
this.
Topic.
Well, I started wearing just like black shirts, like just with a little pocket, kind of like that.
Yeah.
But with the pocket.
What with the pocket?
I don't know. It's not plain.
Dad vibe.
Probably, yeah,
Okay.
in case you need to put a little mama one in there or something. but yeah, so now I go to Zoomies.
Word.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day when Hot Topic was like, it was like the emo store before there's emo, but they used to sell Marvel. And so like back in the day, we're talking about like the early 2000s. I had this sick, like, you go school shopping. If you got a little summer job, take a little bit of the funds that you had, go up to Barton Creek Mall, and Hot Topic had this gnarly Wolverine Sabretooth like graphic tee. It was just like them in the fighting scene, and it was like my favorite shirt. I think I bought like a Punisher shirt too. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, they still have Marvel over there.
But this was when Marvel was trash. Like
it wasn't
before
cool.
Disney. This was before Disney. Like kind of got. It's what I would equate it to now is like nowadays when people wear like an album cover, like an old school Ice Cube album cover, like on a graphic tee, a DTG printed out. Yeah, that's kind of what it was like back in the day. It was kind of under the radar, and it was cool because like not a lot of people had it, and back in the day when I was in Excel, boy, you had to get Excel was hard to find back then. So if you found it, you better cop it. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I had to get me a Hot Topic card whenever I was collecting.
Like a credit card?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Whenever, yeah. Well, I was collecting the Funko Pops, like really hardcore, so all the newest releases.
Nerd.
Like I would have to be whatever, man. I would have to like be real quick on the app because some of them would sell out. So I would have all of my stuff. It was the easiest way to have all my stuff preloaded. Wouldn't worry about if I had the funds or not. Just shoot it on through, and I'll pay it later.
Classic American way.
Yeah.
Debt.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's another conversation. Yeah, we've been on a whole vibe before getting onto the sports aspect. If we're talking about every topic under the sun, which were quite coincidental. Lots of stuff to kind of get into. Drew Brees drama. We'll probably talk about that. I don't know if you've heard anything going on with that. We'll get into it a little bit later. I'm looking forward to kind of see there's a little bit of drama in Dallas. I wouldn't say drama, maybe more or less just healthy conversation. Dak is starting to kind of put his imprint for the expectations for the 2022 season. CeeDee Lamb's going to be the guy. Debo's still out there, man. People are still talking about Debo, how that's going to end up. Baker Mayfield's still in limbo. Deshaun, they got to figure out how to get that done. Cincinnati, man. We're gonna talk about the Bears too. They just lost Akeem Hicks to Tampa Bay. He just signed a $10 million deal. We'll talk about the Bears. Shout out to Carlin Mingo in the chat. Bear down. Got to give show love to people out there. What is that? Is that your bear growl?
So you try not to throw up.
Oh,
My bear growl.
I don't know. Maybe you got something new for season 2.
No, man.
Could be all kinds. Maybe that was like the disparaging, like bear down.
I'm still the same guy. Still waiting on payday.
I believe you. I think we had to move some of those beds around so we could fit the new music kind of coming on. But what else you got living, man? Anything new going on? Anything you're looking forward to the summertime besides the sweltering heat that's kind of coming down?
Nothing really. I seen Lockhart started their 6-on-6. Is that what it is? 7-on-7. Yeah, 7-on-7 today. Other than that, trying to get around to the new Obi-Wan series on Disney Plus. I think we talked about that yesterday.
You gonna go watch Top Gun?
No.
Why? You're not a Top Gun guy?
No.
You're not a Danger Zone guy?
No.
She lost that love and feeling. What the hell is wrong with you? It's like un-American.
Dude, that came out, what, 30 years ago?
Dude, it came out in 1987, I think. Yeah, 87. Dude, that's a classic.
2 years before I was born.
That's like saying you don't appreciate Bart Starr.
Bro,
that's what it's like. That's
No,
like
it's
saying,
not.
yes, it is. It is like saying you don't appreciate Bart Starr.
what has Tom Cruise ever done for the Packers?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
But what has he done for any sports? Like, pretty much nothing. I mean, the only thing he did sports-wise was probably Days of Thunder.
Well, he does do all his own stunts.
Yeah, you got to give props on that. I mean, literally like hanging on the side of an airplane.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible.
Jumping off buildings and
Have
shit.
you seen the raw like footage of that?
Yeah.
It's sick. I know he's strapped up and everything, but like you're literally holding onto the side of an airplane.
He's like a big ass star, and they're like, "Hey, we got you a stunt double."
But he likes to do it.
yeah,
Stupid. Maybe it's not. But everything everybody's talking about, they're saying this movie, like, you don't even need to see the first one because they do flashbacks. They said it delivers with any expectation you have going in. You could have the highest expectation. They're saying if you were born in the 80s, like, you're going to get a lot of fulfillment in that movie. I don't really know if that's going to be true or not until I go see it. I almost went to go see it today, but like I took a nap and then I didn't wake up till like 3:00 from my nap. And I was like, dang, I missed it. Cause I almost bought tickets last night. Just going to go see it here in town. Figured nobody be there. 12:00 showing.
I've been seeing a lot of people on my social media. Top Gun.
Dude,
Want to see
I mean,
Top Gun.
Why not?
I might check it out when it comes to streaming.
But that's the thing is, like, if I had a choice, like if I could rent out an IMAX, I know this is not a movie channel, but if I could rent out an IMAX and it's just like me and a group of friends, maybe 15 people, I think that would be like legit. Cause it's IMAX, right?
Yeah.
It's different event. Bob Bullock Museum, hit us up.
Are you into like Avatar and all that?
I appreciated Cameron's Avatar, but I'm not nerdy about it, but I appreciate the like technology. But I'm going to see the sequel. I like the first one, but I'm not like, oh my God, I got to go see it.
Yeah.
But this Top Gun, I'm like, oh my God, I got to go see it.
I can tell.
Yeah. It's like if they did a Batman and they did a flashback like they were supposed to do with the Flash. Of course, we all know how that's going right now with Mr. What's the Flash's name? Apparently he's having like a whole bunch of troubles right now. Like he can't keep his head on straight.
The Flash?
Yeah, the DC universe. Like I don't know. Apparently he's got a lot of problems getting in bar fights and drinking and like getting like uncontrol. Like he can't control basically his personal life. I don't know if that's like true or not, but I could be wrong. Yeah, Ezra Miller. Yeah, right? Remember the beginning of his career and then look at him now.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I mean, fame is powerful. It's a hell of a drug. Like cocaine, apparently, huh?
I wouldn't know
Yeah, I wouldn't know either.
about fame or
Anything.
Whatever. Moving on.
No, I mean, all I do is have a drink every now and then. They hate Avatar, apparently. They hate our conversations. That's all right. We don't do it just for y'all.
Oh, it's weird because the whole thing is CGI. Like everything is CGI.
No, not everything.
Well, like how much percent of it do you think is CGI?
Probably 70.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
That is a lot.
All right, let's transition. Let's get into the sports world a little bit. Shout out to Texas and Texas A&M getting into the College Baseball World Series. I'm looking forward to that. That's really what I watch during like the dreaded days of summer because like there's nothing going on. There's no football. USFL is supposed to be having like their championship coming up July 4th weekend. Dude, I stopped watching. It's dead. It's sad, but it's dead. I think they got some good players in the USFL, but I want to see what the XFL is going to do next year. Maybe they can kind of pass along some notes, pass along some kind of tidbits to get like better ratings, but the quarterback play is just it's bad. It's not what I thought it could be. I thought it was going to be better, but there's like 2 good quarterbacks and there's only 2 good teams. And that that usually is what happens when if you have the best quarterback, you're probably going to have a good team if you're not in the NFL. That's just kind of where it ends up going. But yeah, that's something that's going on. World Cup. You into soccer at all?
No.
You're going to have to get into this because it's let me just tell you why. Number one, it's going to be in November. So it's going to be like smack dab during football season, and it's going to be weird for me because usually it's in the summer.
Why did they change it?
Well, because this year it's in the middle of a desert in Qatar. And they basically like built this huge city. Qatar is a very like wealthy oil country. So they basically like built this city in the middle of a desert. Think about how they built like Abu Dhabi, like the island out there, Fight Island. Mm-hmm. Same thing. They just built a sports complex just to hold the World Cup. What are they going to do afterwards? I don't know. The sand will probably eat it if I had to guess. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be a big thing. But what is it about soccer? Is it just like, you talked about Austin FC yesterday, going to a game. Is there just a different hiccup because it's Austin, so it's a little bit more appealing? Or do you just have like a different take on it?
Nah, with soccer, man, it's kind of, I guess it's for me, and realize that I don't have a whole understanding about the rules and all that, like we were talking about yesterday. But I see it like a bunch of guys just running back and forth, and then they might score a goal in a game. Yeah. They might not. The scores are like 2-0. It's like if I watch I think of it as, and I'm probably in the wrong mindset for it, but it's like if I watch a basketball game and it's like a pro game and it's like 20-15, and I'm like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Just
like in one quarter?
No, like the whole game.
I've never seen a pro game that's that.
Yeah,
low.
me neither.
But like, you kind of got to ask yourself, like, and that's what I was trying to tell you, like yesterday when we were talking about soccer, is like, you cannot have an American mindset and go watch soccer because it doesn't work. It's just what you're accustomed to: high scoring, high drama. Like, make that kick from 50 yards out, right? Put it in the net from 50 yards. Well, that's extremely hard. And so, but for us, we're like, drain a 3 from, 30 feet, like Steph Curry, or make a 30-yard touchdown pass from, Aaron Rodgers to another receiver. I was going to say Devontae Adams, but I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Oh, man.
So I did it anyways, just kind of did it a different way. Or Tom Brady to Mike Evans, something like that, Because we know there ain't no long passes going on right now with Justin Fields. He lost his number 1 receiver. Sorry, Carly, just had to let that out there.
Taking shots today, dude.
Dude, I told you I was in a mood. Like, I'm in this mood. I don't want to pick. I think I told myself for season 2, I was like, I'm not going to go after players anymore. Like, I did that in season 1, and I was like, well, I don't really know what's going on with that player. Like, I don't know if they're hurt. Like, we didn't know Baker was as hurt as he was. And I was just like dogging Baker. And same thing with like other players. And it's like, well, I don't really know what's going on. I'm still probably going to trash Dak, but more of this year, like if the Cowboys, and I want to save the Cowboy talk for when Wes gets here, but at the same time, like we all know the Cowboys' biggest problem.
Not if, when.
What do you mean?
He said, I don't want to say this if the Cowboys win, they end up sucking.
When? Well, that's relative. Like we can't like if put it this way, if they don't make the playoffs, then yeah, they sucked. They have to like make the playoffs to just like not have that kind of feeling.
And that's not even saying much because they play in that trash ass division.
Dude, it's horrible. It's almost the NFC North is just above them. They're just above them. I just had to put it out there like that. But yeah, I mean, who's Mingo's team? Baltimore?
No, he's a
he's a bandwagoner.
He's a Oklahoma Sooners. So he likes like individual players. So right now he's like Cleveland because that's where Baker's at.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, he doesn't like CeeDee Lamb.
He might turn into a Deshaun Watson fan.
He don't like CeeDee Lamb. He played Oklahoma. He don't like Joe Mixon. He played Cincinnati. I mean,
that's probably his favorite player, Baker.
Yeah, because he's from Austin.
Remember, he was in love with Blake Griffin. He came out the league.
Blake Griffin, basketball.
Yeah.
At Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Played for the Clippers. One of the biggest dunkers of all time.
Yeah, one of the first casualties for the Kardashians too. Apparently,
Was it Blake Griffin?
nah, it was like the other guy before him, and then it was Blake.
I like how they just date basketball players.
Well, they're 6 feet tall. That's why.
They are.
No, they're not. But status, bro.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, why do you think they marry who they marry and then divorce them?
Wreck them, ruin their lives.
Well, I don't think Kanye was ruined. I think Kanye's his own person. But I mean,
You're a Kanye fan?
I like early Kanye. Yeah, I don't like
College Dropout Kanye?
Dude, that's a classic.
It is.
I mean, that's almost like 50 Cent's like Get Rich or Die Trying. That 2000 the early 2000s had just banger albums. But that's what I was watching. I was watching a reel on Instagram, and Beyonce came on, and she was basically saying like people don't make albums anymore. They just make like a song here or there to just get sales.
Yeah, it's the way that the format is now, like with the internet and everything and SoundCloud, and you can just drop a hit. Like Dr. Dre was supposed to release an album, like I don't know how many years ago, and then he just released that I Need a Doctor EP, and then, or LP, I don't know what you call a single, and there was another one, and then it's like, where's the fucking album, dude? You know what I'm saying? We've been waiting on an album. Are you a Dr. Dre fan?
Yeah, since the Chronic.
Yeah, it's a 2001.
2001. That's what I told you. Early 2000s. Like that's when I was in high school. The early 2000s. Like the albums were hitting. Like
I had to like sneak that CD. So me and my brother had some friends, and they found like this
parental edit.
yeah, they found this like music like online catalog thing where it was like sign up now, you get like 10 free CDs for 99 cents.
That was the biggest.
And they would
scam.
just like, you could just check like bill me later. And so we picked our 10 CDs, all like music that we couldn't have our parents go buy us.
Let's ruin your credit now.
Yeah. And so we would do that, no intentions of paying. And that was one of the CDs I got. I opened it up, and it has a big old weed plant on the CD. I was like, oh, can't let mom find this.
Heck no.
And so yeah, that album's definitely a classic.
Yeah, for me, I think. Yeah, for a couple of years there, it was 50 and Kanye. They kind of just like took over, and then that's when like Pharrell came in, and then Pharrell had a song like, I think he had like 40 hits one time, like on the billboards. He was a part of a song, either written or he was in it or produced it. He just had like so much content. Do you remember the Neptunes?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like before 2000.
Well, they had the one hit.
They had two.
What was it? When's the last time you heard it like this or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's those were bangers.
Yeah. Oh,
And then when they mashed up with Clips, remember when they mashed up with Clips?
Yeah.
Yeah. Virginia had hip hop for a little while in the early 2000s too.
I had seen a list earlier of the Billboard Top 20 years ago. Would you like me to like kind of?
Well, that's I'm gonna show my age real quick. That's the year I graduated.
Oh, okay.
2002.
And I go through the whole thing, but a couple of notable ones. Vanessa Carlton, 1,000 Miles. I think that was at the top one. Yeah. Shout out to what's his name, Terry Crews.
Terry Crews, White Chicks.
Ashanti, Foolish.
Dude, Ashanti was
Yeah. Fat Joe featuring Ashanti. What's Love?
What's Love?
P Diddy, I Need a Girl, Part 1.
Yeah, that was about J-Lo.
Eminem, Without Me. Linkin Park, In the End.
Yep. Linkin Park was heavy too.
Nelly, Hot in Her.
Yep.
Usher, You Don't Have to Call. J-Lo, Ain't It Funny, and I'm Gonna Be Alright. 2 of them on the top 20.
Man, if it wasn't for Selena, J-Lo wouldn't be here.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, just facts. That's it. There's no this is 2002, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no little flip in there?
No. Didn't
This
see
is
it
the way
on
we
there.
ball?
Didn't see it on there. No.
Maybe it's a regional thing.
Remember when Texas made it on the main stage?
Dude, it was like, we're talking like 04, 05. It was right. I mean, even Drive Slow, that's Paul Wall and Kanye.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul Wall actually did an interview talking about how he almost was like not on that album. And it was like just happenstance that he heard the beat and he recorded it, and then Kanye was like, come get on it. I'm just like, that's crazy, right? I was listening to Kanye when I went to go help my cousin move from Wheaton, which is suburb of Chicago, like before he blew up. Like he was still like he was regional, but he wasn't. I don't think he had signed to Rockefeller yet, and that was kind of crazy. Like you're driving in Chicago, and you're listening. You don't know what you're listening to because it hadn't blown up yet, but you're listening to, you know, Wake Up Mr. West. You're listening to Jesus Walks. You're listening to all his music, and then like 2 years later, boom, it drops.
Yeah.
You're just like, whoa.
It's crazy nowadays because like there's so many outlets to get your music out on, and there's so much music out there. So it's not like back in the day where the radio was like your only way of getting music, you know.
Remember like recording on
Tapes.
blanks?
Yeah.
You would like wait for the song to come on, or early 2000s. Remember, we don't have these. All we have is the little flip phone, and you wait for the song to come on the radio, and you record, right? And then that's your ringtone. Mm-hmm. Yo, blah 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 blah. This is me. Leave your message.
It'd be like some hard ass verse, and it's like, "Yo, what's up? Can't get to the phone right now. Leave a message."
Yeah, dude. Yep.
Crazy times. I used to wait by the radio so I can record, like make a playlist. You couldn't just be like, "Deet, deet, 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 deet," drag and drop. No, Spotify.
You had to hit play and record at the same time on the box.
I told my kids before I came over here because I was gathering all my shit together, and I was walking out, and they like to play Fortnite, and they listen to Spotify, and I was like, "Whose account are y'all on?" Because last year Spotify. Do you use Spotify?
Oh, I remember you telling me this story.
They have an end of year wrap.
Yeah.
And they tell you like your number one podcast, number one songs. And so I was like looking forward to like sharing mine. Mm-hmm. And I get it. And it's like they fucking wrecked my shit, man. They like totally wrecked it. So I'm walking by and they're listening to music and I'm like, whose Spotify are you on? They're like, Mom's. And I'm like, okay, you sure you're not on mine?
You try to protect your end of year.
Yeah. And I was like, get your own plan, bro. I was like, $9.99 per month. Come on, man.
$9.99.
Yeah, they're like $9.99. I was like, yeah.
It's time for y'all to start paying some bills around here. Y'all telling 10-year-olds, pay your fair share, pull your weight.
Oh, yeah.
That's ridiculous. All right, man, let's get into a quick break. We'll come back, and then we'll wrap up the first hour. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more sports. But, yeah, shout out to Chi-Town, Carly Johnson in the mix. Maybe I probably shouldn't put your last name, but too late. Let's get into a break. When we come back, we'll just talk a little bit more about whatever's coming through our brains. And then when Wes gets here, we're going to probably dog the Cowboys. I don't know. I hate to say it, but it's probably true.
And him.
No, Dak Prescott is saying some outlandish things. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show back in Studio 44. 99 days away from NFL kick, probably maybe less than 90 or about 90 days away from college football commencing as well. That's what I live for. I'm excited about it. We know we have the NBA Finals beginning Thursday. Tomorrow, the match 2022, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers facing off against the young guns, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. You gonna watch that? You gonna get into it? What are you talking about? I know you got a show tomorrow, but
Yeah,
the match.
the match. I'm gonna keep up with it. Definitely.
so?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
What did you think about that video I sent last night in the group chat? Did you get to see it?
Which one?
The first one with Tom Brady talking mad-ish.
Oh no, I didn't see it.
Dude, it's Tom. That's what I love about Tom. Like, after I watched that video, I had to, like, you know, of course, YouTube and their algorithm is putting content in front of you that they want you to watch. So I usually don't watch James Gordon or Corbin or that late night host, but him and Tom were on a golf course, and dude, they're just talking mad shit back and forth to each other. I thought it was just absolutely hilarious. But, you know, that's what I was trying to tell everybody yesterday. That's the real Tom Brady. Is the guy who goes ahead and, you know, gives you an earful and makes sure that you have all the pocketry you can fathom. You know, sometimes you just got to rearrange your wardrobe and get things set up because, you know, you want to flex on some people. But I don't know. You ever done that? You ever, like, showed your hind end to the camera before?
Never.
I don't know. I think maybe one time I did. What's the most embarrassing position, like, not position, but experience you've been in?
Okay.
Precarious.
I was embarrassed one time. I was in choir when I was in elementary school, and we went to Brenham for a competition.
Nerd.
And I was front row.
Front row?
Right in the front. Yeah. And
So, like, you were like a Macaulay Culkin with his brother banging the drums.
nah, I wish it was that. It was worse.
Candles in the earlobes.
I ended up I guess I locked my knees and I passed out.
What?
I fell flat on my face
No.
in front of everybody, and
In front of, like, the people, the audience?
we were in competition, and I broke my front two teeth. Yeah, and my whole class, like, remembers that shit, like, to this day.
And you're what grade? 7th?
Fourth.
You're in 4th grade and, like, mid 30-year-olds remember that?
Yeah.
Bro, that's traumatic.
Yeah, I saw them, like, they have a Facebook post for our class, and they were, like, chatting or some shit, and they were like, hey, who's that kid that passed out and broke his teeth? Luckily, yeah, it was me. Oh, yeah, it was me.
You, like, said it was me?
Yeah, well, I saw it on there, and I was like, yeah, that was me. And they're like, oh, yeah, it was James and all that shit. Dude, it was like, but I showed up, you know, thanks to the power of dentistry. I showed up. That was on a Friday. I showed up Monday, and I was like, what happened?
Yeah, like your grill back and everything?
Yeah.
Where they put your teeth, like, in milk or something?
They're veneers.
They put it what?
They're veneers.
Oh, you
Yeah.
had some customs.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit custom.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
But they weren't veneers until, you know, recently, but like from time and time again, if I wasn't careful, because I can't really bite down and stuff on them, like they would break.
Yeah.
And so the most recent one, dude, we were drunk at my house partying out after UFC.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know what happened, dude, but it was just wild. But yeah, man, that's my most embarrassing moment.
My most embarrassing moment is I'm doing business to business sales, and I'm coming out of a nursing home, and me and my buddy are with him, and I, like, take a step off of the curb, and, like, I guess I was just leaning too far forward, and my ankle just, like, buckled. So, like, I step, the ankle, like, pretend my wrist is my ankle, like, I step, and the ankle buckles, and I just to go flipping, I rolled, and then I rolled again, and I rolled like 4 or 5 rolls in the middle of this, like, not gravel, but like asphalt driveway. And my buddy is just, like, dying laughing, and my ankle is, like, swelling up. So we go to the store, we get a bag of ice. I get, you know, you got the little trash cans, you know, the office trash cans that are black, and they got a little liner in them. So I took the liner out. I put my foot in the black little trash container and just filled it with ice. And so I'm sitting there with a whole thing full of ice. And so ever since then, I got the nickname Trip from my buddy.
Yeah.
So he calls me Trip, and so I get kind of offended, so I called him Trip back. Hey, man, you kind of got to fire with fire, but, you know, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. All the way from the suburbs of Dallas in his palatial estate, the man who is always an embarrassment, no matter which way he goes. He's going to be known from now on as Mr. Chandelier Man. Everybody, let's give it up for Wes Washington. Yeah, Wes, good to have you back, sir.
What up, man? What's up?
Mr. Chandelier Man.
It's good to see all of y'all. That story, James. Oh man, dude, that was man.
That's kind of rough.
Could you just think about just
Ooh.
You know what's crazy though?
Man,
Like I'll tell another side of that story. So this guy that because you know I kind of grew up in the church, and this guy that was there, part of our congregation, his daughter, I went to school with his daughter, and she was there too. But like this guy, he was the only one that like went up and helped. Like he went and picked me up.
like he tried to render aid.
Yeah, he picked me up, threw me over his shoulder, and I was like passed out.
You were like
dude.
unconscious.
Yeah, but it was weird because like I just like blacked out, but I could hear shit. You know what I'm saying?
So you were conscious, but you were just.
It was weird, yeah. And so once we got to the restroom and shit, and like I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, oh fuck, dude. But it's all good because like
You're in 4th grade and you say, "Oh fuck, man."
I was looking in the mirror, I was like, baby. No, but yeah. So he leaves and he drives me back. He drives me back to town. Like he leaves his daughter there.
Where are y'all?
Misses a competition in Brenham, Texas.
Oh,
it's like,
dude, that's a hike.
yeah. Oh, for sure. And
You got you got any ice or anything?
yeah, he took care of me. Yeah. And so, you know, I'm thankful for that.
Shout out to that dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know him? Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
He's your hero. I can be your hero, baby. Wes, you got any embarrassing stories you want to share?
Yeah, he's a Cowboys fan.
Yikes. Starting off early.
Anyway,
He didn't even let you get settled, Wes. He just didn't even let you see.
man. I think mine's. I had some embarrassing sports moments. I almost shot the ball in the wrong basket,
No.
but my teammate fouled me, so I couldn't do it.
Smart.
Your teammate fouled you?
They were smart.
And then the ball ended up hitting off of me and go out of bounds. So it was a turnover.
So it was a
And then
foul and a
My
turnover.
coach, yeah, and then my coach just yells out, "That's what you need, Washington, another turnover." I just had a brain for it. I was about to go up so strong too with it. Did the power dribble. He's like, "No!" And he fouls me, and the ball goes out of bounds.
So you're about to slam dunk on your own goal.
I would not dunk because it wasn't. I couldn't dunk this time. This was junior high.
Oh, I'll give you a pass. You was junior high. You ain't know no better.
Mingo
I was barely
says.
taller than James in junior high.
Mingo says, "Chocolate Thunder in the house." What's up, Wes?
What up?
Chandelier. Nah, Mr. Chandelier, man. Wes, how tall were you in junior high?
I was probably. I was gonna say I had to be like James's height. Yeah.
No, I was
Maybe a little taller.
James's height in junior high. No, I'm dead serious. I'm not being an ass.
What's James's height?
I was 5'7" in junior high.
I'm not 5'7".
Well, how tall are you?
I'm like 5'6" on a
Okay,
good
I was
day.
5'5" in junior high.
Sorry, I was taller than you. And
In 4th grade, he was taller than all of us. But that was also That was also in 1972. So I mean, what can you say?
Who knows? Hey, I don't know if those tape measures are calibrated or not.
I know when you walk into one Circle K, they ain't the same as the 7-Eleven. They got the metric system going on somewhere around there.
man, I'll tell you what, miss you guys too. But yeah, I think most of my moments were embarrassing. Were like the sports moments. I had some embarrassing moments as a little kid because my little sisters used to pick, or not little, my older sisters used to pick on me. They would embarrass me, but none I would like to repeat.
Good. We don't want to embarrass any of the family. You got respect. Hey man, there's some
I was
news.
the one that was embarrassed
Why?
because they were picking on me. That's what they did. They embarrassed me.
And
They were
see,
picking
and
on
then
me.
you grew up to be big and strong.
Huh? Hey, that's why I say when people pick on me, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
'Cause
facts.
I've been picked on by the best.
No, no doubt.
These people ain't doing nothing.
We know, Wes. We know.
Dang. Hey, speaking of, let's pivot not pivot. I can't be using that. I've been watching too many other podcasts. We need to get back. We need to get our own kind of like transition. We need to figure out what word we can use to transition. I figure something out. Somebody work on that.
Onward.
Onward and upward. What is this? Buzz Lightyear. Hey, did you see the soundbite that Dak put out today out of Dallas?
No.
Let me read you what he said, and we'll get our thoughts on it. So, Dak is basically talking about the upcoming season and the expectations, and this is what he said. He goes, "We know what we have in the locker room, and we know what we can be." He goes, "Talent is one thing, but if you don't fulfill it, it doesn't really mean anything." So just from the names and stuff like that, we got young players that just haven't had a chance to make a name for themselves. I'm excited to see those guys be able to do that and for them to prove people wrong. Who the hell are they going to prove people wrong? Nobody's saying that Dallas isn't going to do anything. Or is this just hyperbole to get clicks?
Maybe they heard from me. I'd say they ain't doing shit.
Nah, but here's the thing. They have the expectation year in and year out to go to the Super Bowl. Everybody says it.
Who?
Everybody in major media says it.
Well, they shouldn't.
Well, right. We know that I think we have a little bit better pulse on what's going on. But what do you take about that statement that Dak put out? Do you think that he feels like they're going to be able to make a run because of the young players that are on the team? Or do you think this is his way of just trying to put a stake in the ground by saying, I'm the leader, this is the expectation I have for everybody? Or is he just talking to the media?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to sound like he's pushing people. It's just really some way to sound like you care and that you want to get better, but really you're just happy about you getting paid and you're good with being mediocre. But you just can't say that. So he can't come out and say, I'm happy that, I got paid but we still suck. And I only have to I can play like trash and still make a lot of money.
Yeah, but when you say they suck, like that's relative. What does that mean? What is your definition of with them sucking? Like, what does that look like? What is it?
I mean, they don't show up in the big games. They don't show up when they're supposed to. They don't beat the good teams.
But isn't that a micro?
You're just, huh?
Isn't that a microcosm of the lack of game management and time management from the head coach? I think when Dak was healthy, they played well. When he got hurt at the end of the game against New England, that's when things started to go down. But before all of that, Mike McCarthy had some like questionable decisions going on.
I mean, they played well against who though?
They played against the teams they played. They didn't play well against Tampa Bay. They didn't play well.
Mediocre team.
They didn't play well against Tampa.
I'm just saying I can't brag about beating James in the post. I can't say I'm good because James can't stop me from scoring baskets in the post. So they're still not good until they beat somebody. Until they get to a championship game, ain't shit.
Now, and I think that just seems to be like that's what you always go to, and I'm trying to pull out of you a different dynamic, like for Dallas. Like, okay, here's an example. Until they do something differently, what is it that they need to do differently besides just saying they need to beat the better teams? What does it look like? Who needs to step up? Does it need to be a culmination of certain players, coaches?
I think it starts in the trenches. I think it starts right there in the offensive line. Until they start blowing people off the ball. When they were good, that's what they did. They ran the ball. They were beating people in the trenches. I don't think they got those kind of guys. They don't have those kind of guys that can stay away from stupid penalties and, make the big play, make the good play, make the every down play. They got guys that can make a catch here and there, or they got guys that can make a run here and there, but they don't have linemen that can every down that can go out and block or make a hole for you. I just think they're just weak right there.
Yeah, my interpretation of all of that is just this is the NFL, and if you couldn't compete, I think there would be like a clear visual observation that you're just not good enough. I think that happened with Connor Williams. That's why he's not there anymore. They unfortunately had to let go of La'el Collins. I think Collins was a great lock, a great centerpiece at the right tackle, but now they have Steele. I think Steele is good enough to do that, but at the same time, like the coaching, I think needs to be what needs to be stepped up at the same time with better decision making. And I want Dallas. I predicted Dallas was going to go do very well this coming season. I think they have like the 10th easiest schedule in the NFL. I think they have a lot of pieces that are coming back. If they can land Deebo Samuels, I think that would be a huge, terrific pickup. Tony Pollard, I think, should be the featured back instead of Zeke. In fact, I would trade Zeke to San Francisco for Deebo, pick up his contract and pay him because it'd be cheaper than paying Elliott.
But they're not going to do that.
I know, but what I'm saying is that what it would look like so that they could have success.
Until they can teach Pollard to pass block, they're going to keep Zeke around because they pass it way too much.
I think the problem with that is going back to play calling.
Dallas thinks they can win on the arm of Dak, and that's not it.
You and I both know that that's not true, and that's why I'm saying that you need to have a strong running game, and you need to have receivers who can go and have yards after the catch off of play action, and that's Deebo Samuel all day. Right. Every now and then you'll have CD come across the middle, but you need to let CD work one-on-one in space. And I think for Dallas, it's if Jerry's having a lame duck year with McCarthy to wait for Peyton next year, then we're gonna be talking about the same thing week in and week out. Because
it's sucking people's hopes up about Sean Payton. Sean Payton is not coming to the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones is still alive.
Why would he not?
Because he don't want to have to deal with Jerry. If Jerry gives up the GM role and he's not being typical Jerry, then maybe Sean Payton might come here. But I think if Jerry's still the GM, nah.
Okay, so here's what I say. Sean was never the GM in New Orleans. But if Sean can get concessions from Jerry about personnel decisions, then I think he would come in and take that job in a heartbeat because Sean is going to need to be able to control the roster so that he can have the offensive weapons that he wants to be on that team. And I think for the defensive side, after next year, I think Dan Quinn is gone. He's going to go somewhere else. And so they're going to need someone to fill in that role. But you have such a great foundation with Parsons, D-Law, and Diggs on the outside. So you just kind of – they have the blueprint ready to go. The question is can the coach stay out of the way long enough? And that's what I said last year. Last year, it was Zuerlein and McCarthy. And 3 of those losses were on those two people. And I just wanted to see if it's going to get different. If maybe things come in the future.
I mean, I know I sound negative, and I just don't have any hope, man. They have broken me down, and they've just I'm a battered woman now. So
no, you're not, Wes. No, you're not.
But it just hurt my feelings. I've went too many times toe to toe with people arguing about the Dallas Cowboys, buying jerseys and all this kind of stuff.
Buying blankets.
They just buying blankets, but they just don't seem like they want to go out and win it, man. There's just, I don't know how you don't show up for a home playoff game against the San Francisco 49ers, one of the, most historic franchises in football. And you can't show up for a playoff game? What?
At least they scored points.
Wait. What's so funny?
Well, at least the offense for Dallas scored points.
James, what's so funny?
Paul's over here throwing me looks. I know what he's about to say.
Wes, you don't remember what happened after Dallas lost?
I don't know, man. I was so hurt. I don't.
He was
Where
so
the 49ers went.
he was
Where the
he was
49ers went.
so traumatized. Wes was so traumatized. You didn't even watch the divisional championship between Green Bay and 49ers?
In Green Bay.
Oh yeah,
At the frozen tundra.
That was so boring. I mean, it was just so boring to watch because you think you say, oh, it's Aaron Rodgers time, and you just wait for that Aaron Rodgers magic. And
I
it didn't
was.
happen.
I was waiting for
You
it.
know, I just was waiting for it. I was like, come on. If it was the Cowboys, he would have done it. But for some reason, the 49ers had his number, man. I was just so disappointed. But I mean,
Well, as we look to a break, just some final thoughts for, I guess for two teams who ended the year that they probably the way they didn't want to. Sometimes you just need a little music to play, and so that you can kind of get over those rough calluses that are on, your heart. And I just don't know if y'all be able to overcome it. But I think this year you got some new blood, you got some new people coming in, and maybe some of these young receivers that are coming in for both teams will be some assets that can kind of show out. And maybe that's what Dak was trying to talk about. But we'll get into a break real quick. When we come back, we'll get into the second part. We'll get into some NBA Finals, pick Wes's brain. But until then, give us about 5 or 6. We'll be back.
we got playoff music now. Hey.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show. NBA Finals kicking off Thursday, rather. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow's the match. Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. The Celtics taking on the Golden State Warriors. Who gets the first home game? Is it the Celtics?
I think it's the Warriors, actually.
Oh, the home. Oh, Celtics get home court. All right, home court advantage.
I believe.
See if we can get a little three-way action here. James, you in the mix?
Yeah. I mean,
James, I don't know if y'all heard, but give James an opportunity to talk about his newest venture.
so about 2 weeks ago, we launched the new podcast, Barbecue Chicken Podcast.
Barbecue chicken.
It's going to be covering sports, mainly basketball, football, whatever's in season, I would say. But we're going to be running a contest throughout the NBA Finals. And so if you go follow Barbecue Chicken Podcast on Facebook, we're going to be making a post. And what you do is, and you'll see the post, but you predict the outcome of the game down to the score.
Okay.
And if you do that correctly, you win $100. And you can't copy somebody else's score, you know.
Well, what if somebody has the same score?
I'm sorry, somebody beat you to it.
So it's first come, first serve on the
First
score.
come, first serve on the score.
All right.
Yeah, that's the way that works.
So how did this new show come about?
Just I got a cousin who has a desire to podcast, do what we do and
Get in
stuff.
the game.
Get in the game. And so showing them the ropes and having a good time doing it. These guys I sit around with all the time anyways on the weekends and whatnot, barbecuing, drinking and whatnot, discussing sports. So we're like, why not just record it? And it's always good talks. So
Why'd you call it barbecue chicken?
Oh, y'all gonna be barbecue?
Notice how I
As you
said
do
barbecue.
this podcast?
barbecue.
Bobby. Don't say bar, Bobby.
Well, we
Barbecue.
sat around tossing names up, and that was the one that prevailed above all the other ones.
Because of Shaquille O'Neal with that barbecue chicken?
Yeah, we sit around a lot and play 2K, and so there's a lot of trash talk that goes on. You barbecue
I
chicken in the
nobody
paint.
asked me to play.
Yeah. You have to get Wes on the show.
What do you got?
I got Xbox One.
Okay. I don't know if 2K is cross-platform, but I wouldn't mind giving you a
Yeah. You on PlayStation? You one of those people?
PS5.
Hey, what's wrong with PS5?
I'm joking, dude.
You about to get half the people riled up.
I'm joking.
They're like, once you losers get both. You know,
I'm sorry, I don't even know why I picked Xbox. I just been going with Xbox for a while.
I can hear a bunch of 15-year-olds right now. What bunch of losers? Grown men don't even have both systems.
Yeah.
What's your problem?
High schoolers.
Yeah.
But are you gonna be barbecuing? Where y'all do it?
You on 2K. What's up?
So do y'all bring in like barbecue
Y'all
food?
not gonna have nothing on the grill?
I mean, if we do like a live show type deal, we can do that. But
Oh, y'all just audio right now.
yeah, we're just audio right now.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
how can they find you?
You can find us on Facebook, Barbecue Chicken Podcast, on Spotify mainly, Barbecue Chicken Podcast, and it pops up too. I've done podcasts where you have to like search for it if you have to send out the link, but that's all you type on, and it's BBQ, not like the word barbecue.
Barbecue.
BBQ, yeah, and also on Instagram.
How many shows have you done so far?
I'll send you an invite, Wes. Two
Got 2 shows under your belt. All right.
shows, yeah.
Shout out.
I have a buddy, so I have my cousin who is a lifelong.
Just say you have a butt.
Stay with me, man. I have a cousin
Oh, here we
who
go.
is a lifelong, so he says, Heat fan, and also a buddy who is a lifelong Dallas Mavericks fan.
Like Alonzo Mourning lifetime.
Yeah. And so,
I was about to ask, how far are we going back to LeBron James?
Nah, we had to qualify. That was my first question too, Wes. I was like, wait, let me qualify you real quick. I go, who's Alonzo Mourning? They were like Miami Heat legend. I was like, all right, you validated.
All right. So because it's like those Patriot fans and long life Patriot fans. When who's the quarterback before Tom Brady? I don't know. Yeah.
All right, go do some research.
oh man.
Wes, what are your thoughts? Who do you like? What's the outlook for the NBA Finals?
Man, it's I think it's gonna be a great matchup, especially with their big three. Smart matching up with Curry and uh, Klay Thompson, and it's really what it's gonna come down to is the bench play. Like the Williams kid for Grant Williams for the Celtics.
Yep.
What Poole's gonna do for the Warriors. What Looney is gonna do. I think that they might have trouble guarding Looney if Robert Williams can't stay healthy for the Celtics. But it's gonna be fun to watch. Definitely, it's gonna be great to see the Warriors play in the Garden because they got a great crowd. So, but my prediction, what I see, I'm going Warriors in 6.
Warriors in 6. All right. James, producer James.
I'm gonna have to say the same.
That's kind of what you were leaning towards yesterday.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. You know what? I'm gonna say Warriors in 7.
Oh,
I'm gonna say Warriors in 7.
I think it just from history, teams like these, well coached, loads of talent. They just seem to find a way to go to 7. What a coincidence. It just happens to be like that. But for me, I think the winner of the series is going to be who stays healthy. Just because I have such a bad history with the Rockets whenever they were taking on Golden State and Chris Paul went down, and I was just like, man, if Chris Paul doesn't go down, like, we probably get this dub. Or when Kawhi got hurt with San Antonio, if Kawhi doesn't get hurt, maybe it's a different story. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm going to be really looking forward to seeing like how Tatum shows up. Will he be able to take over games? Or will it just be, James was laughing. I thought he had something going on. Or it's going to be Klay Thompson and Curry just doing what they do. But I want to get just like, a side bet, a props bet over under 1 game. Does Draymond get ejected?
Man, that's hard to tell because it seems like they let that dude talk a lot compared to what they are teeing other people up for.
Yeah, but see, my thing is, I think that the Celtics they were rough with Durant, they were rough with Giannis, they were rough in the last series with Butler, and I'm just like, somebody's gonna do something to Draymond because Draymond's gonna do some dirty shit because that's just in his nature. I love it. Yeah. I'm here for all of it. I want all the smoke. I want to see it all go down. But I think somebody's gonna end up doing something to Draymond, and the fists are gonna be flying. One of the games.
I don't know if he hates that team that much. It seems like he always has because Draymond was actually pretty calm and quiet during the Maverick series. I thought for sure going into the series that him and Luke are gonna get into it because Luke has been really mouthy this season.
Yeah,
he was supposed to calm that down, and that was supposed to be like one of the things that kid worked on him with was him stop complaining to the ref so much. But
hey man, Jordan did it.
Especially,
Jordan did it.
First of all, Luka's not Jordan.
I didn't say he was. I just said Jordan did it.
I'm a huge Luka fan. Those are my Mavericks, but first of all, we don't need to bring up Jordan. Just stop that. Anyway,
give it 20 years, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Give it some time. I hate when go way too early. Start talking about who they're up there with. But
so I know.
I just think that they kind of let Draymond run his mouth a little bit. But I think he's trying to refrain from starting shit with the other players. So we'll see if because Marcus Smart is good about getting into your space and making it seem like, if you fouled him or he'll flop and that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see that. But I don't think you're going to see a lot of Draymond on Smart. It's going to be, I think they're trying to throw Smart on Seth and try to wear him out. So it'd be interesting to see if maybe Draymond comes to, Steph's aid because, Steph's not that big. So,
hey Wes, so a guy like Draymond, do you give him as an official like a little more leeway than you would like, just your typical average NBA player? You know, just because knowing the kind of guy he is, kind of like a Rasheed Wallace, Ron Artest type guy who, you know, does talk a lot. Do you give him a little more leeway, or do you keep the line where it is for everyone else?
See, but I don't think Draymond's like those guys. Draymond kind of reminds me more of like a Richard Sherman, intelligent dude. But Ron Artest is more like your boy in New Orleans. Just says the weirdest things. You don't know what's going on.
Jameis.
And I mean, great athletes, but like sometimes the stuff that comes out of your mouth, you're like, what?
You notice how we ain't being real critical of Rasheed Wallace.
Well, Rasheed Wallace, I think Rasheed Wallace is more like a Draymond guy, a very intelligent dude. But you know, you saw Rasheed Wallace got attacked one time. Oh, he got tossed. He got tossed from a game for just staring at the ref.
That's why I brought it up. Napoleon, bro.
I mean, but dude, I've seen them let Draymond talk a lot more than I've seen them let the other players talk in this year's playoffs. See, players like Dennis Rodman, they couldn't do a lot of talking. They couldn't do a lot of like gestures either. Like if you just kind of went hard at ref, or you just kind of threw the ball aggressively, a lot of times you get attacked. But they're letting Draymond, he's being very demonstrative to the refs, and they're letting it go. I don't know how.
I love that word.
Hey, don't forget about Tim Duncan getting tossed by Joey Crawford for smiling on the bench.
I didn't remember that one. Dang.
That was nuts, dude.
But it's funny because some of the players that you thought were quiet were some of the biggest talkers. Like Larry Bird talked. I heard all-time biggest shit talker. Michael Jordan talked a lot of shit, but they said Bird was one of the cockiest dudes around, man. Bird was about it. Country hick, he came to play.
Well, I mean, him and Magic pretty much changed basketball to a different era. I mean, that's a whole from college to the pros. I mean, they changed.
They kind of saved the NBA.
Yeah,
the NBA was in a kind of a bad place before Bird and Magic came into the league, and they kind of brought that superstar status back for people. You know, maybe Dr. J wasn't doing it for everybody, but when Magic and Bird came into the league, I guess it was that rival between the Lakers and the Celtics. It became such a big deal for that time.
Yeah, I think that definitely the cities really like helped exacerbate not only the rivalry, but also like not only the rivalry between the two franchises, but the rivalry between like the two men. And then of course you had that, they pretty much transcend that decade until the next decade when Michael and Scotty Triangle, you know, and then it transitions into Kobe and then LeBron after that. But
that's another dude I'm worried about now, man. I think Scotty's gone off the deep end. Or maybe he's just trying to promote his book. I don't know what's going on.
He's just trying to keep up with Mike. That's what I think. Mike out here
trying to be irrelevant.
Mike living his best life, like turning down the music on his yacht to wave at fans, and he's got his wife out here just doing her thing, and just like Mike's living his best life.
Yeah, good luck,
well,
Scotty.
Yeah, I mean, the dude hadn't played in 20-some years. He still got the #1 selling basketball shoe, and it's not even close.
Believe it.
Hey, Wes, I wanted to ask you about something that we touched on yesterday that Paul was a little resistant against. I was telling him how Steph Curry kind of changed the game in the way that he shoots a long-range three-pointer. Then you have guys come out like Trae Young. You know, Luka shoots a long-range three. And I was talking about him paving the way and changing the game for like these young guys, because my kids, their favorite player is Steph Curry. And I'm like,
let me tell you what he's really trying to say. He's really trying to say paving the way for the short guys. That's what he's really trying to say.
Hey, we got to make it one way or another. Come on, man.
I
we don't belong in the paint. We don't belong in the paint.
No, you don't.
Well, also the way the game has changed is that the smaller people, the slimmer people that can play in this game, just because it's not as physical as it was in the 80s. That's what was surprising, that it was allowed for the Celtics to be so rough with KD. You know, they weren't letting a lot of these things go. That was one of the things that Kevin Durant is good at, is drawing those fouls, you know, just by swinging his arms. But they weren't letting them get those cheap fouls. But Curry has definitely changed the game and made it more about his dribbling and his ability to shoot the ball, the quick release. You know, but also the thing about it, the kids got to understand that he puts in a lot of work for that. They don't know how many shots, how much he works on his dribbling that he really does. You know, they just kind of see it on TV and thinks it just happened.
Wes, do you think? Go ahead, finish, Wes.
That's, you know, he's putting a lot of time in the gym, taking those, you know, he's probably taking, after they have practice and do all this kind of stuff, he's probably still having his sessions daily where he's shooting, you know, 2,000 to 5,000 shots. You know, it really depends on who's in the gym. You know, some of these guys are so competitive, they won't leave until the other one leaves. Kobe had to be the last person out the gym. So the longer you stayed in the gym, Kobe wasn't leaving. He was one of those kind of guys.
Now, Wes, what you just said there about Steph and being a smaller frame guy, and what the Celtics did in every round from KD to Giannis to Butler, don't you think they're going to try to expose and test his toughness with their aggressiveness?
See, that's the thing. They've been calling Curry different. They call those fouls on Curry because he's so light.
But what if his body can't handle it for 7 games? That's what I'm not worried about the fouls. I'm worried about his body holding up against the physicality.
I mean, it's just really, it's kind of how they foul it. I mean, I don't think he goes to the air a lot, or he won't be going to the air a lot. So I don't think the fouls are going to be as rough. You know, you're going to hit the floor regardless in a game. If they're not playing you physical, you're going to hit the floor a couple times. But a lot of these kids now, they're wearing little mini pads and things like that. So I think Curry will be fine with the way he plays. I will more worry about Klay because Klay is that slasher guy. He likes to go. He'll go up and try to get a dunk or something like that. And so for me, those falls are tougher on the body than just your regular height. You know, while your feet are on the floor hitting the ground. Once you leave that air, man, it hurts a lot more.
So like the Detroit Pistons from the 80s, the bad boys, like you don't think they'd be like taking Curry out?
But okay, well that is different because they're calling the game different. The game is called different.
Yeah, I know. I'm just.
So you got to understand that you could get away with that. If
Paul always comes with some sideways.
Your whole
ass
team
shit.
would be ejected.
Yeah.
You can't foul like that no more.
That's why, like when I hear, like I haven't watched a full game buzzer to buzzer with the Celtics, but everybody keeps saying like, you know, they're tough, they're rough, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, I'm thinking about the way, you know, Bill Laimbeer and, you know, those boys, and then I'm talking about like dudes who are like just men who are just like throwing punches wouldn't get you ejected in the 80s. But like now the wrong kind of foul gets you a flagrant 2 and they get the ball. And I don't get it.
Missing games now.
Huh?
You throw a punch, you're missing games.
But not back in the 80s.
But yeah, it's just they just call it different, you know, and I think that's why you don't see those guys that are built like the guys in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know. They got the guys in the 80s, they were more muscular, but they're saying that these guys are faster and more athletic, but they are very slim, you know. Because you would definitely say a guy like KD would get manhandled in the 80s. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
You know, George Gervin was able to get away with it, but I think that's why he kind of came over with the finger roll.
A little finesse.
But it's just back then, man. Even when I played high school ball, we would practice against the JV. They had these 2 big football players in the lane, and they said every time Wes comes in the lane, put him on his ass.
Did they put you on your ass?
Do not give him a layup, huh?
Did they knock you down?
Oh yeah. Yep.
There's always somebody bigger.
I don't know.
Kept going now.
I don't know. CT Fletcher said There's someone bigger and badder than she. CT Fletcher said, "Nah, mama, I'm him. He's bigger. He is the biggest and the baddest. Nah, mama, I'm him." It's like Mark Davis. Mama, there goes that man. Somebody's got to be the man. Might as well be you. I'm just saying. Might as well.
Where's CT now?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's pumping iron somewhere.
There's always somebody bigger.
No, Jack.
Hey, a guy like me, I gotta have that mindset, right? For these big guys like Wes.
You're talking about in a physical domain. Like, what if you're the best? What if you're the best editor? What if you work to be the best, and then you, mama, you it?
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying?
No, I think the mindset behind that is to be humble. You know what I'm saying?
The mindset is to be passionate about your purpose.
Yeah.
And then he's also saying, like, I've worked my ass off. I'm him. I did it. I'm it.
All right. Understandable. Yeah. For sure. For
Little
sure.
lesson for the day.
There we go.
Wes over there acting all shook. Hey, were you vibing to that music,
Hey,
Wes?
he's having PTSD from being sat on his ass by those two linemen.
Damn.
What the?
How big were those dudes, Wes, that put you down?
When?
In high school, brother.
He tried to block it
Oh,
out.
you talking about the basketball thing. I'm like what? Yeah, they were. I would say they were big dudes. They were probably one dude was 6'5". He had to been.
Oh,
at
they
that
were-
time, probably. They were like 230, and another dude he was 6'2", but like he was more closer to 300 pounds.
So what were you? at?
Roderick Shelby, this dude was solid. Like he was growing a full beard in 7th grade.
Oh shit.
He was a man child, you know. But
Oh, man, child.
man, and I would just bounce off the dude. I don't even think most of the time he tried to hit me that hard. I think he just basically got in my way, and I would just bounce off of it.
What were you at? 6'6", what? 6'6", 200?
No. Back then in high school, I was probably more closer to 6'4", and then once I got to junior college, I went to 6'6".
So you were 6'4",
yeah, I was
what?
probably
6'4",
6'4", 175, 180.
Flaco Jimenez over here.
I got a question.
Dude,
When are we gonna get Wes in studio?
He's been in Austin for a while. We got to work that out. Maybe we need to go to Plano. Maybe we need to go up there.
I'm down. Let me know.
I'm down.
Bet.
Notice I didn't say.
Yeah, I do. You got to try to give me a date and see if I can coordinate, or give me a couple of dates and see if I can coordinate. My boss being out of town, or maybe I have to be in the Austin area. But it's just usually during the week, he's always, especially earlier in the week, he's always in town.
Yeah.
Usually most of the time he goes out of town for the weekends.
I figured if we had Weston show, like it would just be, we'd be off the rails the whole time. Like, no, mother, I think we would just be like cussing each other.
I'd probably request off from work.
I wouldn't.
I would request off from work because I know there would be pregame and postgame.
And we ain't talking about gameplay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, getting close to that time. It's very nice that we're trying to have some big changes going on, and I'm looking forward to those changes as they kind of come to fruition. But if y'all like the changes, the new subtle ones that are going on, we look forward to your feedback. Let us know if you like it. Let us know if you hate it. We'll take that feedback too. Give us about 10 minutes. We'll come back. We'll get off the rails a little bit. That's my favorite time of the show. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. A little technical difficulty mid-break, but that is okay. We're back online. We're going to get off the rails a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time where we just get just a little sideways. We were a little sideways earlier, going to get even more sideways now. Producer James, West Washington, floor is yours, gentlemen. What are we talking about? What kind of mischief can we get into in the final closing time of the show? Wes, I know you're out there pondering life's greatest mysteries. You may be in some sort of a trance, maybe a little bit mind escape to a time where you were all of a sudden in the middle of a euphoric zone that you had to find some tranquility. What did you do, sir? What was the one thing that you could not help but say when the time was right? He's speechless, ladies and gentlemen. He's speechless.
Oh man, you get lost me, bro.
Do I need to give you your spacesuit right now?
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I don't know, man. Life's been it's been right now, but I have been going to some sporting events. Enjoyed going to Mavericks game. I went to Tulsa for the PGA deal.
The golf. PGA deal?
I can't do golf, man.
Are you a golf guy?
No, I play Golden Tee, but man, I got friends, man, that they go to a golf event. I'm like, hey, what do you do? Like, I don't know how they watch it on TV unless you got to take a nap.
Dude, it's great. It's so tranquil.
Is it?
You get to like critique the way they address the putt or how they drove off or like what lie they're in. You're going to get to like think about what's going to be the best way for them to like kind of, I don't know, think about how they're going to get out of that troublesome spot.
I guess.
You guess.
I've been watching a little bit of the hockey too when I can.
Hockey.
I was a little disappointed by the Stars, but I do the hockey, man. You know, like watching the guys get slammed against the board, man. Get some hits in.
You like watching men get slammed?
They did that to Charles Barkley. Did you see that? Making fun of Charles Barkley because he said,
when you're banging a guy,
banging a dude."
Yeah.
When you're banging a dude, and they was just like, what do you do, Charles?
I don't think he really like was in that moment. He was just talking about playing basketball, and then he just got caught up. Yeah. And then in that moment is when you get all like, you know, it gets all weird.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They catch Chuck sometimes, you know, just with some weird things that he says, you know.
No, what's weird? What's weird? What Chuck says is when he talks about doing something to somebody's mother after they pissed him off, or when he talks about women in a certain city in Texas, that's what gets Chuck in trouble.
But hey, that's off the air.
No,
I saw that was hilarious.
It's still on social media.
You don't like the Warriors fans.
You get messed with so much. Come on, man.
Dude, I tell you what.
And the reason that he's saying that is because he knows that the crowd is mostly younger folk. Sure. And it's like, hey, you better watch out. I'm gonna go home and
But you know who pulled that same kind of concept was Bryan Cranston. Remember, so that he was at some kind of like promotion for a movie, and this kid came. I think it was like in Oklahoma, and the kid was like, you know, what's your favorite thing to do when you come to Oklahoma? And Bryan Cranston was like, he's like, my favorite thing to do is go visit your mother, and I was just like, bro, just vicious, just to the bone. But, you know, I guess when, you know, somebody's going to give you a smart ass, you know, statement, you got to punch first without being, you know, getting punched. I said we're going to get off the rails. I mean, we're getting off the rails. Yeah. This is how it is.
Wes, what were you jamming in 2002?
Yeah, good question. What was in the deck? The RZA. The ODB? I bet ODB was banging back in 2002.
In 2000? Yeah, I mean, that, for me, I was definitely jamming some Wu-Tang Forever, some Outkast, some probably some UGK.
Okay. What about 8 Ball MJG?
Oh yes, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Were you in the underground hip hop scene out of Houston during that time, like late '90s, early 2000s?
I don't know about that. I'm not a huge. Everything in Houston I might listen to might be just UGK, Ghetto
Scarface.
Boys. I'm not a big fan of Screw. I get a lot of shit for that, but I can't do it, man. I don't. It's so slow. For some reason, I can't do it.
So when you say UGK, you mean Bun B and Pimp C?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to let everybody, for the folks that don't know.
Underground Kings.
Right, but I mean UGK, like people claim UGK and then UGK.
Yeah.
You know. So
How does that work?
Because you could I'm UGK, whatever. You can put it in a song and people believe it.
Yeah.
It's like you can put news on TV and people believe it.
Yeah, I know guys making music today and they're still trying to like live off of Screw's name and they're making like screwed up music.
Well, I mean, it's still a style of music.
I mean, I guess, but from what Zero told us, if you ain't affiliated with Screw, it's not Screw music.
Yeah.
Stop putting it on a Screw
But that's
tape.
the thing is like, I mean, I remember when Ludacris had a screwed up song, and it is what it is. But,
Yeah, it's cool. Even Travis Scott, he
is from Houston.
Yeah.
He doesn't claim it like
Yeah.
the guys from Houston do. But
and then also like who says you can't just slow down the track? You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know.
Is there like a certain person that
Well,
when you produce your music and they're like, oh, you can't do that? You know what I mean?
I doubt it because there wouldn't be so many people in certain genres of music. I would think.
Ghetto Boys West.
He said Ghetto.
Oh, yeah.
He said Ghetto Boys.
Ghetto Boys, yes. Oh, dude, Ghetto Boys, man. Bushwick Bill, man. They would, even though they would you can't really play the Ghetto Boys around a lot of people. The tracks I like, everybody would go to, Mom's Playing
Mom
Tricks on Me,
Tricks.
that type of thing. But I'm like the assassin where they were Ghetto Boys, man. They were talking so much shit. Scarface.
Yeah.
And Bushwick Bill, and they were chopping up people and all kinds of things. They were rowdy.
I saw like this little like mini documentary type deal on Bushwick Bill and how he lost his eye.
Mm-hmm.
It was like nuts. I was
Really?
like, no way, dude.
Was it true?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
And they
It was
used
produced by
They
Vice.
used it for an album cover.
Yeah.
I mean, that was real.
Wildin'.
But I think he was I don't know if he's still alive, but if he is, I think he became like a minister.
I think he's passed.
Bushwick Bill.
Oh, he passed
I
away.
think he did pass, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he did. But Scarface, he was doing bad for a little while, but I think he's doing better now. But Scarface is one of the definitely to me is one of the legends in hip hop. His especially some of his features, man. Scarface, he was a bad man.
Wes, what other kind of music you into besides hip hop? And let's say like besides R&B and are you into jazz?
Damn well you don't want to listen to no jazz.
What's wrong with jazz? That's like
That's a quote from Friday.
I mean, it's all right for like a second, but like a lot of times I gotta hear lyrics.
What about the blues?
Blues all right for a second. There's a few songs. I mean,
So that's just a no.
So, yeah, no, I like the blues. It's just I don't listen to the blues a lot.
So
You know what I'm saying?
if I said Gary Clark Jr., what are you gonna say?
Who?
Say, from Austin, Gary Clark Jr. Yeah. See, I would have to hear some of the songs, but I wouldn't. If somebody put him on, I wouldn't turn him off
Hater.
for a few songs. Well,
Listen to Bright
stuff.
Lights. Listen to Bright Lights. Just listen to that. Get in the
Okay, I know
Navigator.
that song. That's a good song.
Yeah, it's a damn good song.
It's a good song.
It's a damn good song. It's more than a good song. It's a damn good song. It's a banger.
I'll try to put more of his songs on. And try
If
to
you put that on,
find
you
that
put
song.
that on, you put that in the boat. It's late night. You already dropped everybody off, and you get on whatever highways in Dallas that y'all get on, 35 West, 35 East, whatever y'all going on, and you put on bright lights and you got it on like near max, and that guitar riff just going, man, cut the mic.
All right. I'll try it out for sure. Next time. Next time for sure.
Shout out Gary Clark Jr. Not Gary Clark, because that's a country singer. Got to put Junior on the end.
Okay.
Shout out to the juniors out there. Are you a junior?
No.
I'm a junior. Wes, are you a junior?
I'm a second because I'm named after my great grandfather.
That's a junior. That counts. We'll count it.
My brother's a junior though.
All right. What if you had a son? What if your name was Junior and you were not a junior, but your first name was given was Junior, and you had a son
That's a mess.
and he was a junior?
Just call you JR. Cover it all.
All right, Jerry.
JR. What? But what?
Walter.
2 Live Crew, Wes.
Ooh, now we're getting Miami.
Nah. I mean, it was played. Now they weren't one of my favorites though. I mean, it was hot for a second just because it was like they were talking about, sex, and then you're like you kind of throw it on acting like you know about sex, but really you don't know shit.
You nasty.
Yeah,
What about Trina?
And it had bass, so but not a big fan.
What about Trina?
The baddest bitch.
Trina.
Bruh.
Trina.
You better put some respect.
Recognized.
She damn right.
Who's Trina?
Yeah, man, cut his feed. Cut that shit. You don't know Trina. The baddest.
Trina. Man.
Miami Dade 305.
Man, you gotta okay. I'm kind of stubborn in my ways, so like I'll listen to stuff that I've already heard over and over, just because I like to sing along. So like most everything I listen to now I heard. So if I haven't heard it and it's not that catchy, then. But I mix it up. I listen to Leon Bridges. Listen to the Teskey Brothers.
Take me to the river.
Listen to a lot of Citizen Cope.
Okay, that's dope. I like Citizen Cope.
What do you listen to today? Like if you were to hop in the Navigator right now, going to McDonald's, what's gonna be playing?
I've been playing a lot of 80s stuff. I like a lot of Bob Seger.
You like Bob Seger?
Yeah, you don't like Bob Seger?
No, I dig Bob Seger. I just didn't think you would like Bob Seger.
Why wouldn't I like Bob Seger's good, dude? Why wouldn't I like Bob Seger?
Because if you pull up a picture of Bob Seger and you look at him and you look at Wes, you look at him, you look at Wes, and you're like, Wes likes.
I guarantee you, Bob probably has some brothers in the band, man. He probably got a look.
Oh no, without a doubt. Okay, one real quick. Go ahead.
Still Doobie Brothers too.
There you go.
Rocket shit. Is he frozen?
No,
he's
good.
not. He's there.
Okay.
All right.
I thought you were about to say something.
He's frozen.
Like,
His
hey.
camera's not.
Okay, Wes. I sent you that link. Did you see the link to Silk Sonic?
To what?
Silk Sonic.
Silk Sonic. Oh yeah, that song with Bruno.
Yeah, Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was a pretty good song.
Pretty good.
I liked it.
That's not enough.
I liked it.
No, man. That's. Have y'all seen the Victoria's Secret concert with Bruno Mars? I need a
This guy.
go watch it.
I just haven't heard it again. I don't know, man. It's hard to get into my rotation.
Paul's not satisfied. Like if you're like, oh yeah, it was good.
I
He's
think
like,
because
good.
it's like for me, I think these are just like and don't get me wrong, I dig Bob Seger, but I'm not like it ain't in my playlist.
He wants you to be like, it's fucking amazing.
It's
a fucking
But
changed my life.
realize that
It did change. Bruno Mars. When I heard Bruno Mars his 24K album, I was like, dude, this is there was like except 2 songs, they were all bangers.
You listen to the whole album?
I bought it.
On what?
I bought it.
On what?
CD.
And played it on what?
buy it.
I have fucking CD players. You don't have CD players?
Like a Walkman or like?
Well, you
I don't have
can
CD
plug it into your computer.
Oh.
You can plug it into your CD player.
Wes, you have a CD
I
player?
just bought a record player because I want
Oh
to start
my
playing. Like,
God.
old
What's wrong with vinyl?
Oh my god!
What do you got?
Oh,
Tape
vinyl,
deck?
yeah.
8 tracks?
I have a phone with Spotify on it.
Yeah. Well, excuse
That's what I
me
got
for
for the
wanting to
car.
support the artist, okay? Fuck me, right? I just want to buy. I want to support the artist. It was a great album.
Well, no,
That's what's wrong with you young kids today.
Here
Y'all don't
we
buy
go.
albums anymore.
Here we
Sorry,
go.
Wes. What were you saying?
I'm just saying, it's different though. When you're in the car, you listen to your phone, but at home, when it's just a little lower pitch, a little bit of you got to buy the right albums.
Yeah.
When you're buying an album, you just don't buy any album.
Yeah. It's got to be a
It's
vibe.
not, it's not something you want that's like with a lot of bass, it's a banger or anything like that. It's more something that's got just a little
Yeah. You're not gonna buy Little John on vinyl.
jazzier.
Agreed.
Just saying.
Yeah.
How many do you own vinyl?
Nah, I'm not that nerdy.
There we go.
But it's cool if you do. Like, I don't have a record player. Number one.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, I just got it. I've only gotten I haven't gotten a record yet.
But when your record player,
I
is
have
it like
records
a
somewhere? I just gotta find them.
is it like a DJ record player? No.
No, it's just like a record player. It's got like a speaker coming out of it. It's just a
Like a horn?
record player. Yeah, basically, because back in the day, before your time, James, you had when they talked about stereo systems, it was basically a wall. I mean, like the stereos in my day, they took up so much room.
You talking
Just
like
to play a record.
you talking about like
Right.
truck speakers?
I'm talking about like my parents' stereos that they had.
Yeah, it was like
'cause
a
they had they had
3
the
foot.
receiver and
Mm-hmm.
this,
Mhm.
what you call it, and then the record player. Then you had the dual cassette. Like it was basically, these always stacked up on this, and they had the speakers. Speakers were probably about as tall as Jay.
So let me James, let me translate this to you for the 2000s. What it was like is when you had a TV and you had a Nintendo, and then the TV also had a sound system, right? Like surround sound. So what you had to do was when you plugged in that cable, you had to plug it into the adapter and then plug that adapter that's hooked up to your Nintendo, plug it into the back of the surround sound, and then you had a cable that went from the surround sound to the TV so that you could make sure the audio and the video was matched up together.
Was this before the inflatable tire?
This was 2000, my friend. You don't remember this?
I didn't have a
So I'm saying,
Nintendo.
like that was.
Remember
that was
when Nintendo
something
came with the
didn't
3
easier.
wires, the yellow, the white, and the red? And then technology came where we had the coaxial adapter.
Yeah, those are called the RCA cables.
So the RCA cables, and then we were like, what's the RCA cable? We were stupid. Remember we were our own IT, having to like blow in the cartridges, go up, go down, go
I
up,
didn't
go
have
down.
a Nintendo. I had a Sega Genesis.
Oh, so you that young. Yeah. All right.
Oh.
Remember?
No,
First of all,
I just like I
I'm
didn't.
old enough.
Now, here's
I'll
the
go
thing.
back to the days you could only play video games on the one channel,
Right.
you had one
Channel
button.
3. Mhm.
and you put it on. You had to screw it to the back of the TV with the butter knife,
Coax.
Coax. Right.
and you could only play it on channel 3 or 4,
Right.
whichever one looked better.
And so at the same time, now your Sega Genesis that you had, was it the 16-bit or the 32-bit?
16.
So you got it right when it came out.
Yeah.
And it was the top load? It was when you put them on top?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we would have to blow it too.
You have to blow that one too.
But we were instead of Mario, I was raised on Sonic.
Sonic.
But I had friends around the corner that
Yeah.
we would go and play Super
Yeah, I had
Mario and all
Mario,
that shit.
yeah.
Yeah. It was available to me.
And then the Super Nintendo came out, and then
But that's one thing. It's like a lot of my friends, they were like Super Mario and all that shit. But I didn't have a choice. It's what was given to me.
because well, your brother's only a year older, so that's why you're a later 80s baby than like me. I'm an early 80s.
I'm a
baby.
barely 80s. Yeah. I'm
You're
89.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So like your brother y'all are at the end and I'm at the beginning of the 80s.
Yeah.
Wes, just calm down. We'll get to the 70s in a minute with Atari. But at the same time, that's what I'm trying to say.
Late 60s.
No. Atari came out in the 70s.
No, I'm talking about
I
his
guess
age.
it was late 70s.
Yeah, it was late 70s. Because my cousin had
It was
one.
Coleco or something like that.
Nah, Pong was the first one, my friend. And then remember the alligator game? Like you had to jump from the vines to the gator?
Pitfall.
Pitfall,
man,
yeah.
Don't get me started on my Pitfall.
Yeah, bro. See, I'm in that age where I got to see all of it. Dude, I remember when Mortal Kombat came out on Sega. Bro, changed the game. Changed the game. Parents wouldn't buy it for me. They're like, it's too violent. Then I'm watching Demolition Man the next week. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I don't know. All right, guys. What do y'all think? Y'all, we got what else? You got anything else in the old noggin there? You trying to get out?
No.
Wes, it's been a minute, man. Get it off your chest. What do you got? We got something to share. What do you want to talk about?
What's that shirt you're wearing?
Three's Company.
Oh, it's Trace Left. It's a dude I went to high school. His band that he does with him and his wife. What's it? Clint Parker, I think his name.
What kind of music
I
they
ran
play?
track with him. He sent me a shirt. He was watching the show. He sent me the shirt.
Hey, shout out.
All right, I'll wear it.
Hey, show the
And then,
people the shirt. Shout out the band.
Oh, he did.
Oh, I did. Trace Left.
Shout
Clint
out.
Parker. Oh, man, I should do better research and be like, hey, they play here and that type of stuff. Yeah, but you get what you get.
All right, they're on social media, I'm sure.
And then I was my buddy Blue Jack. They do a house roofing. Like, I mean, it's like Texas Ranger version of their hat.
I like it.
Because I'm a Rangers fan.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking better. You know, they're
Did I freeze again?
they don't.
Whoa, that picture looks horrible. I'm frozen right now, apparently, with a overexposed image. I look like that wizard from that one wizard movie. You have no power here.
Gandalf. I don't know. I don't see a lot of.
I don't watch
those
Lord of the
movies.
Rings. Yeah.
I have not seen Lord of the Rings. I haven't seen the other. What's the other one?
I don't know. Earl the Great.
What's Lord of the Rings, and then you got the little boy in the schools.
The Hobbit.
Oh, you're talking about Harry Potter.
The little boy in the schools.
I've never seen Harry Potter's. I don't know, man. I feel like I should try to watch it, but
I heard they're good. I've seen one of them, and
yeah.
it was good.
I'm excited to go see this. Everybody's been talking really good about this Top Gun movie. They
Damn
say
right.
They're saying it's really good.
Damn right.
But I use a lot of lines in Top Gun, but I wasn't the biggest fan of Top Gun.
What's wrong
And
with
Top Gun really went downhill when Goose died. In the
you? Hey,
movie.
man, that's a whole part of the movie.
I mean, but he was the only person that was good in the movie until that point.
Dude, Maverick.
I don't know what it is about Tom Cruise that makes you want to hit him in the face. It just
You put
he
some
just seems-
respect on that man's name.
Yeah. I do, dude. I love a lot of his movies. Don't get me wrong. Tropical Thunder, Tom Cruise was great.
It was great in Tropical Thunder. You don't know who he
He
is?
was great.
Yes, I do.
Huh?
Well, then you give me
But
that
I mean,
look like
that's
you
not,
don't
that's not
know.
his best. Like, I mean, come on, Mission Impossible, like fucking
I don't know. What are you talking about? That wasn't his best. Say, dude, I know Tom Cruise.
Top
back
Gun
in the
is
day
his
when
best
he did
performance?
Outsiders. Tom Cruise was in The Outsiders. But I'm
Tropical
just
Thunder was his
saying,
best performance.
Outsiders is pretty good.
But I'm just saying.
Bro, the first 5 minutes of
still
Austin
just don't like
Powers,
the way
gold
he-
member,
he-
best
it's
performance.
Something about him. He seems like he's just an asshole, and I just want to punch him in the face.
But you ain't even met the man. You're just trying to just accost him. For
I
no
know
reason.
that's horrible. I mean, hey,
Touche,
I love me
Wes.
some risky business. Jerry Maguire,
Jerry Maguire. What about Days of Thunder?
huh?
Days of Thunder.
Yeah, Days of Thunder, that was a good one.
Keep on freaking.
You know, but like I said, it's just something about the way he looks that just bugs me.
All right, I get it. You don't like
I
short.
guess
You don't like
maybe
short
it's because
people.
I was such an Ice fan.
Yeah,
you know.
you just don't like short people. I get it.
I was the Iceman. I was Team Iceman, and so you know, so I decided with him, and it just kind of stuck.
And James is just doing me in all kinds of today.
You keep freezing.
We might as well just wrap this bad boy up because I look like total dog garbage crap right now.
All right, I'll do a solid right here.
Solid. Just take me off.
There you go.
Oh, Lord. Go ahead, James. Let's do it. Let's wrap this bad boy up. Put a bow on it.
All right, man. I was getting into talking about movies. I forgot what y'all were doing over
You were
there.
going in on Tom Cruise is what you were doing.
You're just trying to pick on short people. That's all.
Why you always got to bring into that?
Because you said his face.
You know he's trying to instigate.
My best friend is a short person.
How short is short?
We argued over it all the time. I think he was trying to say he was like 5'8", 5'9", but I think he was more like 5'7".
That's still taller than me. That's taller than me.
What's the cutoff for short in your eyes, Wes? Like, what's the short? What's 5 what and under is short in your eyes?
5 what?
5.
I don't know. I thought anything under 6 foot is short.
Ooh. Okay.
I don't know, man. It's tough for me to tell. Well, all right. So medium. Yeah, I would say medium.
I can't wait till you bring him in studio.
The average U.S. male height is 5'9".
So I guess you're right. But to me, I just feel like that's just medium.
Medium.
So it's hard for me to say when people look at somebody that's 6 foot and go, "Hey, that tall guy," and I'm like, "Call him that tall? Really?" So it's difficult, man. It's different. It's like, what I might say a dark person is, you might say something that is different than mine because I'm darker.
Well, I'm dark too, so we're on the same boat together. All right, folks. Until Thursday. Until Thursday. This has been the Paul Rodriguez Show. We appreciate you watching. Until then, stay like Wes. We out.